Mhm. Here it is, like I promised. This video to keep you ladies and guys, kings and queens, out of the penal system, out of jail, out of prison. Um, Take a look, not even take a look, examine these documents: the birth certificate, the driver's license, and your that social security card. Pull those documents out. Examine those documents. You don't see anything funny about those documents, like the fact that the names are spelled in all capital letters. The U.S. printing style manual, which explains how to identify a corporation, says all capital letter names are corporations. That's how you identify a corporation, by the all capital name. Are you a corporation? Or are you a living flesh and blood being? Pick and choose a side. Flesh and blood being lives lawful and unlawfully. That fictitious guy, that all caps name, lives legal and illegally. That's his lane. The flesh and blood person lane is lawful lane. Fictitious guy, he's in that other lane. He's in that fictitious lane, that dead lane. So let's get back to this court thing, man. All right. So you got summons to appear in court. You got caught smoking some weed outside your crib or whatever, man. You're riding down the street. You got, I'll say, even traffic tickets or whatever. Traffic court. It all applies. Even civil court. It all applies. Any court you enter, it applies to. So, therefore, nevertheless, felony, misdemeanor, depending on what you did, though. If you're breaking into people's homes and taking people's property and shooting people up, doing drive-bys, things of that nature, this information won't help you. It's not for you. It's for people that want to live their life lawfully and get from under the thumb of the government and that fictitious guy. That fictitious guy is holding you back, even though you are the beneficiary of that fictitious guy. And the guy that I'm speaking of is the birth certificate. Keep him everywhere you go. You bring your wallet, you bring your gun, you bring your cell phone everywhere you go. Make it a habit to bring that birth certificate along with you. You do not go anywhere without him. He does not stay at home if you're not at home. You're on the go, he's on the go. Because if you get pulled over, I need an ID for this and that. They're not asking for your ID. They're asking for the ID that you are holding, that you are in possession of for the birth certificate. Because remember, you are the beneficiary of this guy. This guy needs a license to drive. Me? I can travel anywhere I goddamn well please. I don't need a license to travel. Driving is a privilege. Traveling is a right. You better learn it. Because if you don't stand up for your rights, you don't have any. And you don't have the right to bitch and complain because you're not joining the goddamn fight. You're too busy on the sideline watching football, basketball, baseball, whatever, numbing your damn mind. And not concerned about what's going on because it doesn't affect your immediate circle. That's the point. It does affect your immediate circle. It's been affecting you since day one of your life. They've been giving you the shaft with no grease up the anal. And you've been taking it every day, all day. Enough is enough. Your bottom gonna get sore. Your anus gonna get sore as fuck. And you're gonna get tired of the bullshit. Then you're gonna stand up for yourself. Yeah, that's what happened to me with that whole terroristic threat crap. But that's a story for another day. But once again, birth certificate is on bonded paper. It's traded on the stock market like any other commodity. That's right, you're fucking chattel. You're treated like milk, sugar, anything else you can fucking buy in this world. And that's a shame. That's sad. So I'm here giving you your freedom for free. I ain't gonna sell you shit. If you decide to donate to the cause, more power to you. If not, learn the information, teach someone else, keep it pushing. That's all I want. Educate someone else about this knowledge so they can stay the fuck out of jail. So let's get back to it. Before you show up to jail, you want to file an affidavit of truth. Research it, YouTube it. They got some great guys out there that knows what they're doing. Good title to look up. Judge gives you keys to your freedom. This is where I got the information that I'm going to share with you today. Judge gives you keys to your freedom. Look it up, study it, research it, factual information. And other guys like Dean Clifford, the Canadian guy. They got some great guys in Britain. I can't think of his name. Peter, something Peter, doing a wonderful job. They are there arresting judges that are not upholding their oaths. How many times has that happened in America? Probably this much. And we need to start doing that. Your job as a fucking citizen, as part of we the people, is to police or shadow or oversee government employees, because they are public servants. Yes, the Leos that are harassing you and running your license plate without probable cause and pulling you over and making false claims. Oh, I smell marijuana. Even if it wasn't marijuana in the car. Marijuana, unbeknownst to you, if you didn't know, is lawful. Yes, it is illegal. But once again, that fictitious guy drives in the legal or illegal lane. A sovereign, a flesh and blood person, well, a flesh and blood being rather, should be in the lawful and unlawful lane. That's where you have all your rights. Over here, the fictitious guy, he has benefits and privileges. Why have benefits and privileges when I can have rights? Wake the fuck up, America. Wake the fuck up. All right, back to this thing. Affidavit of truth. You let them know what's going on, that who you are and what you hope to accomplish from dealing with them. Pretty much, in a nutshell. The judge gives you keys to your freedom. Check it out. He's going to tell you to stand in your motherfucking square. Bring your birth certificate to court. And when you get to court, actually before you get to court, the whole affidavit of truth. Along with the affidavit of truth, you let them know you're writing that you're writing them to let them know you will be making a special limited appearance. You are not appearing anywhere. Ghosts appear. You are making a special limited appearance. It's a difference. Big fucking difference. Just like there's a big difference between a father, aka sperm donor, and a dad, aka someone is there day in and day out, shelter, food, emotional, physical, mental support. That's a dad. If you just donated sperm and you got children out there, you're not a dad. You are a fucking father. And you celebrate Father's Day for fucking deadbeats. That's what a father is. Someone that just donates sperm and goes about his fucking life and doesn't care or deal with the fact that he has to raise children. That's not part of his responsibilities. That's part of a dad's responsibilities, day in and day out. So if you are a dad applaud your fucking self. If you a father, shoot yourself in the fucking head. Back to this court thing. I digress. I have a father, not a dad. So I guess you can see how I'm coming out, or how it's coming off because of that. But I digress. Okay. Let's see. When they call the name that's on the docket, which they're actually calling a boarding pass to get on the boat because they're operating under maritime law. On water, you have no fucking rights. On land, you have all your natural creator given rights if you stand up for them. So, with that said, when you're in that pew, stay in the pew. Do not cross over that little partition, that little swinging door. It might not even be a swinging door there. It might just be a gaping hole. Do not cross over there. You're getting on the ship. You're going to be part of the ship. A deckhand, whatever you want to call it, working for the ship. As a slave ship. Stay the fuck off the ship. I mean that with all sincerity. Stay the fuck off the ship. It's a slave ship. It's all metaphors. It's all fucking sadistic and twisted. This shit is spiritual, dude. It really is. I don't want to get into the whole spelling and spelling bee and how bees are synonymous with that and witchcraft, but I digress. Let's go back to the topic. In court, they call the name on the docket John Bernard, the all caps name that's on the docket. They're not calling the flesh and blood person. They're calling that fictitious guy. So what you need to do is stand up. I am making a special limited appearance on behalf of the Sister K Trust in the name of John Bernard or in the name of John Doe or Annabelle, whatever your name is. Whatever that name is that's on that birth certificate. You are the beneficiary of that Sister K Trust that's in that name because that birth certificate is on bonded paper. It's worth something. So, their question to you after you make your statement about making a special limited appearance, they're going to ask you then, who are you? I'm the beneficiary of the Sister K Trust that's in the name of John Bernard. But if the courts feel the need to address me, they can address me by beneficiary. That is it. Not beneficiary John Bernard, beneficiary John Doe, just beneficiary. You stipulate what your name is. You can't, how the hell a third party is going to tell you who the fuck you are? That's naive to me when people, you go in a store and they're like, ID please? I just told you I was 38. Why are you going to take the word of this government document but won't take the word of the flesh and blood being that is speaking with you right now? You're taking the word of a third party that I am who I say I am. Why the fuck you not believe in me? Why do I have to lie? That's idiocracy. That's stupidity at its finest. But let's get back to it. So, when it's your turn to speak, the judge might ask you to come forward. Your response should be, with all due respect, I prefer to stay on land. Letting him know, you know what the fuck is going on. Because that flag that's behind that judge, has a gold fringe around it. That means they're operating under maritime law. And if you approach the judge without reserving all of your rights, you're consenting to getting on the boat, to getting on the ship. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it. Reply with all due respect, I prefer to stay on land. I can see you clearly. I can hear you clearly. Let it be known for and on the record, because they're going to try to manipulate the situation and try to coerce you and trick you to getting jurisdiction over you. I know it happened to fucking me. Because I was fussing with the DA, and then the judge was behind me like, can we proceed, Mr. Bernard? And I'm like, I turned around and said, yes, like a fucking dumbass. But you see, she asked me, the fucking judge asked me, can we proceed? Because at that moment, I was acting as my fucking true self, the sovereign. And if you're doing that, you have more power than anyone else in that motherfucking courtroom at that moment. You are the highest fucking authority in that fucking courtroom. But you have to stand on your fucking square and don't fucking budge. That's where I fucked up. But I know better now. You gotta go through shit to educate yourself. I know better now. So, stand up, it was like, I prefer to stay on land. Or you can say, I would love to accept your order with your offer to contract, because that's what it is. It's an agreement. Any agreement that you make is a contract. Verbal, written down, or understood. It's a fucking contract. Contract law. Look it up. Study it. Learn it. You need it. So, you can say, I would love to accept your offer to contract with the understanding that I do so with all my creator giving natural, unalienable, not unalienable, unalienable, inherent rights intact. Do we have an accord? Now let's back up to this word unalienable. What is the root word in unalienable? It's alien. They know how we were created. It's right in your face, but no one sees it. You ever heard the saying, it's best to hide in plain sight? That's what they've been doing to you your whole fucking life. Hiding in plain sight. Camouflage. The lions are looking for you. Okay, I'm gonna go chill in the fucking lion's den. They won't be looking in their lion's den because they don't think that I would be ignorant enough or stupid enough to be in their lion's den. Think, man. Think. Educate yourself. So, I wouldn't even accept the offer the contract to go on the ship. Don't do that, especially if it's your first time. Stay on fucking land, and you'll see that they're going to treat you differently. They're not going to treat you like everyone else that they were dealing with, because those people already answered to the name. They already became a trustee, a fucking slave. You are standing on your square. You are a fucking sovereign. They can't treat you like them other motherfuckers, because they know it's a violation, big violations, if they do so, and if you call them on it and proceed to proceed accordingly, whatever they may do. He might be operating, practicing law from the bench or some shit like that. He might be out of line, or she might be out of line. But when it's your turn to speak, after they ask you, do you want to come forward and all that shit, I prefer to stay on land. I can see you clearly. I can hear you clearly. And then you proceed with, for and on the record, as I understand this process, Judge, the county attorney or police officer has leveled a charge with the clerk against the trust, using the all caps names that appears on this birth certificate. The use of the all caps is dictated by the U.S. printing style manual, which explains how to identify a corporation. The clerk, who is the administrator of the Sesta K Trust, then appointed you, Judge, as trustee for the trust. And since neither of you can be the beneficiary, that leaves me. And therefore, Judge, you are my trustee. And as my trustee, I instruct you to discharge this entire matter with prejudice. With prejudice. Oh my God, I can't even say it. My lips are dry. With prejudice. And award the penalties for these crimes to be paid to me in compensation for my damages and for remedy or for false imprisonment if you've been to jail. False imprisonment. Because a side note, the law of trust, that's why I say learn trust law. The law of trust dictates that administrator, trustee, and beneficiary cannot serve two positions within a trust. So therefore, if the judge is the trustee, he cannot be the beneficiary. And if I'm the beneficiary, I cannot be the trustee. That's why you have to point out the players when you first get in there. Let them know where you stand and where the fuck they are, where they're supposed to be. A fucking trustee, because the judge is a government employee, which makes him a public servant. The courts wasn't designed for the people to go in there. It was designed to keep the government and the politicians and the people, public servants, in check, in line. But since you're acting as that fictitious character when you go in there, they're flipping the script on you. And you're getting fucked for decades now. But I'm here to help you. I'm here to educate you. I'm here to motivate you to learn who the fuck you really are. And then you can slowly take your power back and slowly decrease their power without having to shoot anyone, without having to jack somebody, without having to protest, without having to do any of that shit. Just go get your vital statistics from the capital city in your state. That's all you got to do, and start acting accordingly to lawful or unlawful, not legal or illegal. So you're letting the judge know that, hey, I'm the beneficiary, you're the trustee, and I do not accept your offer of contract, and I do not consent to these proceedings, and I do not acquiesce. Which means after you say that, you're going to shut the fuck up, because acquiesce means I'm going to be silent, but I do not agree with anything you have to fucking say. Acquiesce. Learn it. And if they still persist to try to put this bullshit on you, this false ass fucking crime, you're going to do what you should do or need to do is ask the DA to produce a 1040 for this that they filed with IRS for this case. Which means you need to bring a 1040 form, well, 2 1040 forms to court with you that day. Raise it up. Have you filled out a 1040 with the IRS for this case? And if they decline to show you the information that they did produce it, they did provide a 1040 to the IRS, let them know that you will be taking care of that for them ASAP, which means as soon as fucking possible. Which means the IRS is going to take a look into their earnings, their unreported earnings for the last 7 years, because they don't report tax, they don't report the money that they get from cases. They just report their salary. So all the cases they try, all that money they're getting, it's under the fucking table, unreported. That means they're in violations of the direct IRS rules and regulations that they're supposed to be following, which you can get them disbarred and all kind of other shit. And you can put a lien against their bond once they start acting unconstitutionally. But yeah, do your research, man. Get that in. Remember, before you go to court, you're gonna have this affidavit of truth. You're gonna let them know that you're making a special appearance, a special limited appearance, and you're gonna print out some 1040 forms for the DA, so you can fucking flatten they fucking tires. And I bet you they're gonna be quick to fucking discharge this case, not dismiss. Dismiss means it happened, but he won. Discharge means it never happened. I never came to court. I never got pulled over. There was never a fucking incident report. Nothing happened. It's all fucking erased. I don't need to go through the whole fact of getting expunged and suppressed and all this other dumb shit. It never fucking happened. Because it's unlawful. Not illegal or illegal. Fuck legal or illegal. Unlawful, lawful. It's where you need to live. It's where you need to be on a daily basis. Keep your birth certificate with you. It's mythical truths. I'm out. Gonna go chill, man. It's about 10:30. Gotta go to work. Then, yeah, one more base, 4 pedestals. We're getting it done. Nebraska, Norfolk. I'm out.